Rick James, I got to tell you that...
We did that tour together.
That's right, we did. But I got to tell you that...
Street tour.
In his heyday, Rick James would get 15,000 people a night. Sometimes in major cities, he would do 2 nights.
Yeah.
And
Big funk, man.
And he was the master. He was the master performer. He could come out and get a crowd going. He could whip 20,000 people into a frenzy, and he was a very charismatic man. But I will never forget when he, in his heyday of the Super Freak tour, this is 1981, in his heyday, he got a promoter, allegedly, to give him money up front.
Yeah.
And then he decided at that point he was going to go with another promoter. So
creative financing. Yeah.
But the thing of it was, he forgot to tell the promoter that he took the money from in the first place. So consequently, you know, the whole tour between Chicago, I think San Diego, and Dallas, the marshals would show up and they would line 4 or 5 cop cars behind the stage, and they'd show up just about just before showtime. And they would show up and they'd line the cars up, and everybody's looking all official with the badges and the hats and the guns and everything like that. And they'd wait off stage. And this happened 3 or 4 times. This one night in Dallas, he tricked them. And what happened was he took a quick change booth during the show, because he got tipped off that the marshals were going to be there. Put it in backstage. Now, I didn't even know this, that was what it was for, a quick change booth. So the whole show goes through, and Rick sees the cops off the stage, and he doesn't care. Every night he had a segment in the show where he lit up a joint.
Right, Randy would bring it up.
Yeah, and he would stand up like this, and the whole crowd would be yelling. He'd stand up with a joint, and he'd just make a big deal of it. He'd light this thing up, he went right down, he blew it right in the cop's face. He didn't care. He knew he knew what was happening. So here, the show ends. The crowd is screaming. Rick takes off and goes behind the stage like he normally does, and he has his California. You remember California? In those days, they all wore the braids with the beads in them and stuff like that. They all kind of looked alike, you know. So California goes out there, and he gets up. He walks from behind the stage, and he's got this this white cape. The white cape has rhinestones on it, and he's covered up like this. He turns his back to the audience, and he holds the cape up like this. The crowd is going nuts. They think it's Rick.
It's Randy.
Right? In the meantime, Rick is in the quick change booth. He's putting on overalls, red Converse tennis shoes, an afro wig, and sunglasses. Right? And so in the meantime, the crowd's screaming. Rick comes out of the quick change booth, walks right past the marshals in his costume, and gets in a taxi and leaves.
And he got away with it.
And he got away with it. And later on, about 2 o'clock in the morning, he comes on the bus again, and he's got this shit-eating grin on his face, you know, like, I fooled him again.